Hello, and welcome to the Pricing for the Planet podcast, the podcast that explores the intersection of sustainability with business. Today, we will talk a lot about shared value, another episode on this very interesting topic. But this time, it's a concrete example of what you can do with shared value. Bene, thanks a lot for being here. You know the drill. In this episode and in this podcast, we like to start from the end. So, what would be the key takeaway you would like the audience to remember from your episode?
Okay, thank you, Fabian. Um, so personally, I will want the audience to take away, let's say, two major things. And the two major things is planet Earth is the only planet that we have, and we have to do everything that we can, everything possible to save it, from carbon emission, to save it from potential dangers through these carbon emissions. So it's the only planet that we have. We know that a lot of people are talking about exploring Mars and the rest of other planets. But right now, what we have at hand is the Earth. And we have to do everything humanly possible within our capacity to ensure that it's safe for not just us, but generations to come. Also, the second thing I want everybody to take away, especially goes to more like young people or those who are kind of a bit um, um, confused on how to become part of the climate initiative or how to do something that has a meaningful impact in the environment. The word I have for them is you can do something, no matter what it is, even if it's just as simple as reduction of plastic waste, or maybe going green, decide to get solar for your electricity. But no matter the initiative, no matter the action, no matter how late it is, you can partake and you can be part of the global movement for change in terms of climate. So that's the two takeaways I have for the audience here. Thank you.
Perfect. Good ones. So, Bene, maybe can you introduce yourself and explain your relationship with this concept of shared value?
Okay. So my name is Ben, or you can call me. My full name is Benedict Okpala. So I'm an entrepreneur from Nigeria, and I have a background in electrical and electronics engineering. Um, and then also, I'm being part of the Shared Value Initiative for over 3 years now, since 2020. Actually, 2019, that's late 2019. So I run a solar energy company here in Nigeria called KIRU Energy. So at KIRU Energy, we provide reliable, affordable solar energy solutions for homes and businesses within the urban and semi-urban environments of Nigeria. Um, Also, I'm an active member of the IEEE, that's the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, and also I've been part of. I'm a tech person basically. I've explored the frontiers of technology in terms of both solar energy technology as renewable technology and also software technology, emerging technologies like AI, robotics over my 5 years of experience in different industries. So our our relationship with shared value as regards what we do at Kiro is something I want to describe as it's out of the box, in the sense that when you hear of what we do, we are in the solar energy space, which is the clean technology space, and as long as you're in the clean technology space, I would say automatically you're already part of shared value. So before we joined the Shared Value Initiative Africa officially, we we didn't know what it means. However, we've been on that shared value arrangement unconsciously. We didn't have an idea of how it works, how to structure it, how to be more conscious in terms of the approach until we joined Shared Value Initiative Africa through the founder Tiki. That was December 2019. So when we started the program, we were able to gain more profound insight into the rudiments and the ingredients of shared value and how you can structure your organization, your business model, and everything you are doing to be in accordance with that plan. And we all know that the shared value initiative is just kind of harmonizing impact and business. So it doesn't take away your business, your business. It doesn't make you not strive in business. It doesn't take away the business aspect. It's just how you can harmonize social impact and then business. So we found out that this is actually what we are doing. Okay, at KIRU Energy, we are trying to solve three major problems. We're trying to solve the problem of cost, that's economic advantage for our users. We are trying to solve the problem of carbon emissions. So we're trying to take away petrol generators. If you come to where we've come from, if you come to Nigeria, there is huge amounts of petrol generators in terms of there's this huge amount of emissions that people flee from both oil industry and also individuals who use this thing at home, because we have a kind of an epidemic level grid or energy um, inadequacy. So so what we are trying to do, our work at KIRU Energy, to great extent intercepts with the core values of shared value. So what the program enabled us to do is to kind of structure it in a more decent, holistic, and conscious approach. So it's like you've been doing this, but you don't know what you are doing, and then someone come and tell you what you are doing right now is actually what we are doing here, and we can help you plan, structure, and organize your business in a way that it will suit this better. So that's why it was so easy for us to adapt shared value. It wasn't it wasn't so difficult. It was very easy for us to look at what we are doing, look at our business model, look at our customers, look at every single aspect of our system, and then reconstruct it in a way that we, merge with the shared value. And a lot of things happened within that period. Started by rebranding. In fact, we have to change our name. Our name was a different thing, and then because of the lessons from the shared value, we have to, you know, restructure a lot of things we are doing, changed our name, business model. Started looking at different kind of customer approach, different kind of customer targets, and in fact, I can go on on and on to say a lot, but let me stop here for now. And yeah,
No, it's fascinating, Ben. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I'm glad that you explain it that way, because I think I have a lot of feedback saying, shared value sounds great, but concretely in the real world, how is it working? And I think with KIRU Energy, that's a concrete example that, one, it's working, two, it makes sense for the society, three, it makes sense from a business point of view. So I think it's a good message that you can actually have a good business and you can do good in your local environment. So you know super
yeah,
interesting. Would you mind, maybe the same way you did with shared value, can you explain how you integrated the sustainable development goals, the SDGs? Because I've seen that, I spied on you, Ben, on LinkedIn, and I've seen that you use SDG quite a lot. And same thing, I got this feedback a lot. It sounds great on paper, but how do you apply that in a real life business situation?
okay. So first of all, I would say that the concept of shared value has a lot of relationship with the SDGs, because you can't talk about impact, you can't talk about sustainability without talking about the SDGs. And then shared value intercepts with SDG, and KIRU Energy intercepts with shared value. So it's like a case of A is equals to B and B is equals to C. That means C is equals to A. So that kind of relationship. So first of all, SDG 7, which is um, um, affordable and clean electricity, or affordable and clean energy. So this is like the hallmark of our development of what Kinetic is about. So it's about affordable and clean energy. I mentioned it earlier that where we come from in Nigeria, have about 80 million people that doesn't have access to clean electricity. In fact, that doesn't have access to electricity at all. So we're looking at a very huge market here, and you know also our in our local environment, the idea of solar energy is kind of, let's say, everybody knows about it, but only a microscopic few number of people that can comfortably afford it. So at KID, we are looking at how can we make this affordable? How can we democratize the use of clean electricity for everybody, even those that seem not to be able to afford it. And that's SDG 7. We're talking about affordable clean energy. So what we are doing at KIRU Energy so much intercepts or was informed and motivated from the constructs and the ingredients of SDG 7. Another SDG you can easily look at is SDG 13, which is climate action. You know, the whole idea of renewable energy is inspired by the by climate action. It's about how we could um, 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 fight carbon emission. Even developed countries that countries that constructed the whole idea of SDG looked at climate action, and that's why they gave it a particular space in the SDGs list of SDG, and that's the SDG 13. So basically, what we are doing at KIRU over our 3 years of operations, we've been able to mitigate more than up to at least 50,000 metric tons of carbon through our work, through our installations all over the country. So SDG 13 and SDG 7 are the core of what we are doing. We can actually extend it a little bit more to the likes of SDG 11, which is sustainable cities and communities. Because at the end of the day, it's about sustainability. So you need to have sustainable cities, you need to have sustainable communities. And what we are doing at Kiru so much intercepts that. So you could say SDG 7 and SDG 11 at the primary level, and then finally we now have SDG 11 at the second. So we have SDG 7 and 13, sorry, SDG 7 and 13, and then SDG 11 at the base. So, like I said, everything about shared value was inspired from the SDG. So, both of them have already intercepted, and then KIRU Energy is coming to harmonize, strengths, lessons, and thought process from these two bigger frameworks to form the basic of what we do.
Awesome. And can you explain maybe a little bit more about KIRU Energy? Because so I get it, it's great what you are doing. So what is the how?
Yeah, the how. Yeah, yeah. So in terms of the how, so first of all, we have two primary focus in terms of customer target. So we're trying to look at homes and businesses. Why are we looking at homes and businesses? Because these are the major contributors of carbon emission in Nigeria, especially businesses in Nigeria. So at KIRU Energy, we'll have different product models that will offer to different customer segments. I'm going to give you a practical example. We have a project that we call Power Biz project. So the Power Biz project is our energy as a service project, or an energy as a service um, solar energy system, or we call it smart off-grid system, that powers market clusters, small market clusters, and business plazas. So it simply means, let me just put it in a very practical sense. We know that a lot of businesses in Nigeria cannot afford the upfront costs involved in setting up a solar energy system. So we decided to design a system where we set up a microgrid setup, or we install a microgrid system in a market cluster, and we're looking at productive use cases, and that's what we're talking about businesses. So some of these businesses, let's say, open in the morning around 8 a.m. and then close in the evening around 5 p.m. So within that time, where we come from, Nigeria has over almost 7 hours of peak sun every day, almost. Like I mean, very very bright sun. So we looked at it and we designed a system that could be able to power these businesses within this operation time at zero upfront costs. So it's an energy as a service system. So all they need to do is to pay on demand. So pay as you go. So you don't need to bother to buy solar panels. You don't need to bother to buy batteries, inverters, and all the rest of components. All you just need to do is to connect to clean energy electricity, and you are good to go. And then you pay as you use. We charge you per consumption. So these are one of our business model. Also, we have our small solar pack that we sell to homes, to remote workers. Like for instance, you're a young professional in Nigeria and you have, let's say, a laptop, fan, and maybe light bulbs and your phones to charge. These are very minor loads. You're not supplying electricity to cooling or heating systems. These are very minor loads. Laptop, fan, phones. So we have our small energy or solar energy park. We call it power station. So we use it to serve this target market. There are this market within that range. And then we also have our normal upfront cost installation for homes in Nigeria. We call that one we call it powerhouse. Powerhouse. So these are our upfront, payments. So the customer pays us and then we come and install it for them. So these are the three major ones that are ongoing right now. However, in our pipeline, we have other projects we are developing, like the mini grid in the city project for real estate developers. So we are targeting real estate, new buildings and new towns that are opening up. We will try to work with the real estate developers and then we set up projects. So it's kind of a partnership between KIRU Energy and these real estate developers to, supply clean electricity to their new estates. So these are different hows how we approach our business. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. So if I understood it well, for example, for business, the challenge for you was more like a finance challenge to
Yes.
figure out, how you can make the economic working while they are not paying you upfront, but they pay as they go. Okay,
Yes.
that's super interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. Perfect. And one question, because you mentioned SDG 11, and I
Yeah.
think there is a piece about community. Did you
Yes.
work with local communities to come up with your different like segments and offerings?
Yes. So in terms of our local community approach or local community engagement, we made a couple of moves or we've come up with a couple of initiatives to see how we could you know assist or do something, especially for the vulnerable ones in the community. So a couple of years ago, we decided to come up with an idea we called Power Health. So the idea is to power rural health centers, midwiferys and smaller rural health centers with solar energy. So we started with a community somewhere in the southeastern part of Nigeria, and then our intention was to scale up with that project. However, it was a little bit of we had a little bit of difficulty in trying to set up a sustainable way for that project to run on its own because we could easily set up, let's say, solar energy system, solar panels and the rest of them and power these hospitals, but over time some of those hardware equipment may require replacement. So that was a challenge that we encountered, and that is it for that. However, we've also come up with some initiatives like we have our said project, we call it as sustainable energy days. So it's a kind of a conference or an event where we, lecture or teach people about clean technology and the need to adapt it. So we kind of invite different people from different segments of the clean energy system and also the whole climate action space to, talk to people, and share knowledge in this regard. And then also we also organize weekly, sometimes monthly or quarterly events and some kind of podcast, well, not podcast, but just short events where we lecture and we tell people about clean electricity. So so the majority of what we try to do, we try to look at the youth. So the youths are always our target. Look at the youths, because we believe the youths are like the engine of the society. So they are the people that can easily or energetically take these wars out there. So we keep organizing events online where we can easily share our knowledge and tell them, because there's this idea about solar in Nigeria, there's this idea about clean electricity. So people see this and that this is so far from them. So we try to tell them now it's not as difficult as you think. You can be part of it. Some people come up with questions like, how do I partake? How do I become part of what you guys are doing? I have an idea on let's say biomass and all that. So we try to connect them with professionals who are better off in those spaces, to enable them in terms of mentorship and capacity building. Yeah. So that is it.
I love because I love that it makes so much sense because I think, and it's all about the shared value and the SDG mindset. It's way above having your little company just looking at yourself and trying to make money for yourself and maybe for your own company. It's like it's how we move an entire continent. It's how we move an entire country. on this, shared mission. And I love your example of saying, if they want to do biomass, be my guest. We are happy to help you out because it's way above, my P&L. It's we want to, make an impact on the planet. So I think it's really impressive. And jumping on what you said, so how can people from the audience, how can they help you? Can they, follow KIRU Energy? Can they how can they help? How can they give you visibility? How is it working?
Okay, first of all, there's a lot of ways you can help KIRU Energy. So first of all, we are open to maybe we're still a young company. Okay, we are even my partner is just a young person like most like me. So and our community or our team is team of just young people in their twenties. So we are very we don't have much of experience, and we are so open to suggestion. We are open to new knowledge. We are open to mentorship. Also, you could support our work through we have a website which I'm going to drop here. Our Kiru.com, or you can say KiruEnergy.com. So KiruEnergy.com or our Kiru.com. You could visit our website. You could follow us on social media. We have LinkedIn. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter, and we're also on Facebook. Also, you could for we are currently trying to raise funding for KIRU Energy. Yeah, we are trying to bring in investors who will, help us take our work to the next level. And someone out there maybe listening to this podcast to put out their word for us, connect us with those who are impact investors specifically, who might be interested in what we are doing. We, so we can continue the discussion further. So there's a lot of ways you can support us. We are open to anything, be it words, be it connections, be it network, be it social media following, be it any way you can support KIRU Energy. We are so happy and we appreciate to receive that. Yeah.
Perfect. And very interesting about the investment. So what kind, just for the audience, so what kind of like funding are you looking for? Like multiple 100,000, or is it more open to everybody, or like what kind of like investment are you looking for, or all of the above, maybe?
So currently we're looking for an equity investment. So we're
Okay.
looking for people that will join us and become part of KIRU Energy in terms of stakeholding. Currently we're trying to raise and with something within a neighborhood of 200 to 250K. So this will enable us expand some of our works. Like for example, our Power Bridge project, we need to set up more of these projects. In a lot of places in Nigeria. We have about 10 sites, and more. Where these projects are in high demand. So currently we are looking for a 250K for maybe a fraction of KIRU Energy. That will be discussed, in private. But this is the amount we are looking for as equity investment. Yeah.
Got it. All right. Okay, so loud and clear. So hopefully someone from the audience, will feel compelled and, maybe reach out to Ben, and I'm sure he will be more than happy to follow up on this one. And Ben, maybe last question, because you mentioned technology a lot. So what is your point of view on like how can technology help? Do you think technology can help, moving towards sustainability? And if yes, how?
Okay. So first of all, yes. In fact, a big yes. Technology always help. Um, I have a tech background. I've had opportunity to work with a couple of emerging technologies. And I must say for sure that technology will help. In fact, it's going to help. Everything about sustainability, everything about climate action, technology has a very huge, massive impact to play. So for us, as it affects us, we are looking at technologies like AI, that's artificial intelligence, and Internet of Things. What would that help us do? It will help us to connect because we have projects currently, and sometimes you know we're trying to look at demand side efficiency. How do you supply? How do you apportion your energy? For instance, you're supplying like some of our sites, like our Power B sites. We need to incorporate smart meters, that are IoT enabled, so that our customers can easily, buy electricity from their mobile phones, seamlessly without calling KIRU Energy or just log in, buy electricity, and also be able to monitor their usage. Also have some good level of communication that they can easily, let's say, switch off their system or their devices from wherever they are. So this is a very good step in terms of energy efficiency. Energy efficiency, at the end of the day, um, um, climate action has a lot to do with energy efficiency. How much do we consume, or how can we achieve more by consuming less? So um, also, technologies like artificial intelligence will be able to help us in informed decision making. Creating or developing or training models that will understand our users' energy patterns. This will enable us to make informed decision in terms of, okay, I want to, let's say I have a site somewhere and we have like 20 customers here, and then you deploy AI there to kind of extract data as to how their energy works. At what time is their peak energy? What do I need to deploy more resources to supply them? At what point is it during? Is it in the early hours of the morning or maybe late in the evening? All this data that we can gather, we enable AI system to be able to train some sort of energy model that will be able to supply your customers without you being there. So sometimes collecting energy data, and designing energy patterns could be a bit troubling. You see a lot of companies after they've installed a system, they find that the system is oversized or the system is undersized. So you need to make sure that your supply matches their demand. And how can you do that? You need data. And how can you predict the data? You need AI. So there's a lot of ways technologies like artificial intelligence and Internet of Things would enable what we are doing.
Awesome. Ben, thank you so much. Super inspiring. Again, guys in the audience, gals, check out KIRU Energy. I will add the link in the description of the podcast episode. A huge thank you again, Ben. And if you want to continue the journey with us, you can follow us on www.pricingfortheplanet.com. I will make sure to list this episode on the page, on the knowledge page. And a huge thank you for your time, and be well.
Thank you so much, Fabian. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share my story.